What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Casually Fit Podcast. My name is Rob. Thank you for coming by today. As always, I hope everybody is having a good day, good week. It is Wednesday. It's that hump day. Depending on where you're at, you might be coming into some new stay-at-home orders like myself, Southern California. I think I'm supposed to stay home now. So it is what it is. And, it's definitely, I'm going to be talking about today I'm going to be talking about the 10 reasons, 10 kind of excuses why people give for not going to exercise. And I'm going to try to tailor this a little bit to the current situation that we're in, which is some people can go to the gym, some people can't go to the gym. As far as here for myself in Southern California, there's only, as far as 24-hour fitness is, there's only like a handful of them open, and it's only outdoors, so it makes it a little difficult. I believe in other parts of the country, they're fully open. You just have to wear a mask and go to the gym or whatever it is. So it's a little bit different, right? It's even for myself, I love working out, love exercising, lifting weights, all of that. And when it gets more difficult to go to the gym as far as timing wise, and as far as when I go to the gym, especially here in San Diego, they're mostly packed. It's pretty hard to find a gym that's not packed no matter what time you go. Now that's just outdoors, and the outdoor equipment is small, right? There's one gym I went to where literally there was better gyms in Afghanistan. I am not even exaggerating. There were better gyms in Afghanistan than these people set up in a parking lot. So it makes it a little difficult, and I'm going to try to cater these a little bit to that. But I do have today 10 reasons or excuses on why people don't go to the gym. And I'm going to try to go through this list, not really going to take my time too much because it's 10 reasons, right? So I just want to just go over these and basically because, again, a lot of people have excuses for not going to the gym or exercising. This is really going to be more about exercising at all because, again, some people are just relegated to just their homes, right? Just staying home. I'm not sure. I mean, if the gyms are open, in my case, I feel like if they're open, right? I'm going to go to the gym. So, and for other people, if they're not open or if you just don't feel like, it's safe to go to the gym, you just stay home. Okay. So maybe you are staying home or whatever the case is, but you're coming up with these excuses, right? Or these reasons. Okay. Some are good reasons, some are bad, and I'm going to get into that right now. And today, so first one is I'm too tired to exercise. So this excuse, this reason that people give, it all depends on when you say it, right? If you're somebody who's been exercising a lot, if you regularly go to the gym and you go, 4 or 5 days a week, and then you've been doing it for years, and if you say, hey, I'm just too tired to exercise, one of the days, that's fine, right? That's a reason. If you've been doing it for a while, you probably know if you are too tired to exercise. You have a good understanding of your body, how it works, and when you might be overtraining yourself. So when you say I'm too tired to exercise and you're in that category where you've been doing it for a while and you have a good measurement of your body, even if you wear a Whoop strap, I wore a Whoop strap for a little bit, and it really got me dialed down to really just kind of notice like the days that the Whoop strap would say, hey, your recovery is garbage and you shouldn't exercise today because it's going to hurt you and not help you. I felt that. I knew that when I woke up. You could feel it, right? And that's from me, just from exercising a lot. So if that reason, if you use it and you've been doing it for a while, okay, you should know. But if you're somebody who hasn't begun to exercise and you haven't started to exercise, and you say, Well, the reason why I don't exercise is because I'm too tired to exercise. I think these levels are too high. Yeah, if you're sitting there and you're saying, "Hey, I haven't began to lose weight because, I'm just too tired to exercise throughout the day. My week is tough and it's just a little bit too difficult to get myself into some gym clothes and get myself to the gym or get myself to my living room and start doing some exercises." That excuse, if you're just beginning, here's one argument. The argument could be you might be tired because you're not exercising, right? It's kind of weird. It kind of sounds counterintuitive to think, well, you know, somebody who does exercise a lot or frequently or consistently, they're going to have more energy more than likely than people who don't exercise, right? So if somebody tells me, "Hey, I'm just too tired to exercise throughout the day. That's why I haven't been exercising and that's why I'm overweight." I would say, "Hey, look, you might be tired because you're not exercising, because you're not working out your body and you're just consuming food and you're living this sedentary kind of lifestyle. That's going to make it to where you're just a little bit more tired throughout the day. If you do exercise, then what's going to happen is you're going to get your body moving. You're going to get the blood flowing. You're going to engage your mind and engage your body, and that's going to help bring you more energy. And the more you do that, the more you strain yourself in the gym, uh, the more energy you have for the rest of your day, right? Because it's a different contrast. If you're in the gym and you're just pushing yourself on the treadmill, you're pushing yourself with weights, it's very strenuous. And then the rest of your day is not that strenuous. And so, it definitely feels like you have more. I don't know if it's scientifically proven, but it definitely feels like you have more energy. I know for myself, I had a problem with energy when I took a break from exercising for several years, didn't do any of it. I was noticing that my energy levels were very low. And I started looking into it and basically, found my way towards exercising to where there were some studies I looked at to where exercising can actually help boost your energy. And then me, a few years down the road from that, yes, I can say 100% it can. So if you're too tired to exercise, that might be because you're not exercising. So the answer to that would be push through the tiredness to exercise. And sometimes you're just tired, and sometimes when you have those days where you're just too tired, you kind of want to have those days where you are too tired and you push through. You don't want to overtrain yourself, you don't want to hurt yourself, you don't want to do any of that, but you should experience being very tired, but still doing a physical activity. Because what usually happens is if you are paying attention, right? If you're not sitting there suffering the whole time and just thinking negative, like, "Oh, I'm at the gym, I've made it, and I guess I'll do this, and I guess I'll do that, and oh, I'm just so tired." If you're sitting in the gym, thinking, "Oh, I'm so tired, I can't do this," and you just continuously let those thoughts come in, then yeah, you're gonna have a horrible time. But if you see those thoughts when you first go into the gym and you start thinking the opposite and you start thinking, "Okay, I'm tired, but let me focus on this right now. Let me go for 8 reps on this. Let me go for 10 reps on this," and you keep doing that, what usually happens after like 5-10 minutes, however long you're in the gym, everything will switch. You won't be as tired anymore. You'll actually have a lot of energy. Some of my best workouts have been, most insane workouts have been to where I push myself like past my limit, is when I've gone into the gym very tired. So I think people should experience that. So the excuse of "I'm too tired," it's just an excuse. That's not, everybody's tired, right? The world is crazy. The world's wild right now. And people work, anywhere from 40 to 90 hours a week. So, and those people, that work even 80, 90 hours, they say, "Hey, look, I got to get into the gym because this helps me out." And so if those people are doing it, how tired are you, right? If you're just working a part-time job or just a full-time job, just doing 40 hours a week and you're saying you're too tired, I mean, come on now. All right, just think about all these other people that are doing a bunch of different things, and think that, hey, if they're doing it, then I can definitely do it. And maybe I'm not too tired. I know I feel tired, but in the broader perspective, I shouldn't really be feeling too tired. So maybe think about that, on the too tired excuse. But that's the first excuse I want to talk about. Second one is, they worded this weird, but it's embarrassed to exercise. Maybe you are embarrassed to exercise. And one last point on the too tired. Hey, if you're just working out at home, look, you're working out at home. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. So if you're it's right there, right? It's in your living room. The gym is your living room. So that's that's a really lazy excuse to use if you're working out at home and you say you're too tired to work out at home. It's just a very lazy excuse. But let's say you're embarrassed. Maybe you don't feel like you're athletic at all, and you feel uncoordinated when you're in the gym, and you just feel embarrassed to be in the gym. That, I would say, is definitely, it's a valid reason. It's a valid reason for a lot of people, right? Especially if you have a little bit of an ego and you don't like going into a situation where you are like the student, I guess, or you're the person that doesn't have all the skills as everybody else has. If you don't like that, most people don't like that, right? So it feels uncomfortable. And again, if you haven't been in the gym, again, it can be very uncomfortable. It can be embarrassing. And I get that feeling that people have. And I would say, if it's me, which I've done many times, for me, I went into, so I used to bench 315 pounds, right? And then I took off a bunch of time from the gym, and I went into the gym where I could only bench like 225 pound plates on the bar. What is that? That's what is that, 95 pounds? So I could only bench around 100 pounds, and that was difficult. Going from 315 to only barely being able to put up 100 pounds. And, at that time when I was switching over, my ego was a little bit bigger. I don't really have an ego anymore, but my ego is definitely still present then. And it was embarrassing for me. I was like, man, this, it was only embarrassing to me because I knew what I used to be able to do. Everybody else in the gym had no idea. Everybody else in the gym, I just look like another person who's trying to work out. So it's all created inside my mind, and it's created inside your mind, whatever narrative you're running with on why you feel embarrassed. But I felt embarrassed doing that. And so I would say, just keep on going in. That's what I did. I would say, just if you feel embarrassed, the first thing that you should do is to just go, okay, this feels uncomfortable. I feel embarrassed, but not going is not going to help the situation, right? If you feel embarrassed, you shouldn't feel embarrassed at all, right? But if you want to stroke your ego a little bit, and if you want to feed into your ego a little bit, then the answer would be to keep going to the gym, to be able to be more coordinated and to not be as confused while you're in the gym, right? That'd be the answer, right? That's one answer. Another answer is just to completely forget about being embarrassed and just focus on you and not worry about this created narrative that's inside your mind telling you all these negative things on why you should just run outside the gym right away, right? So that's another option that you can do. Now, another option from that, if you are feeling very embarrassed, again, it can be very uncomfortable for people. And if you're not used to being in uncomfortable situations, I will say for myself, I am very used to being in uncomfortable situations. So my default answer is to always push into the uncomfortableness. And I think that's just because I've been in many different uncomfortable situations, and I've just found out that that's the best way to do it. But if you haven't done that, again, I would still say that should be your first option. But if you want to ease yourself into it, I would say now's the perfect time for the home workout. If you go into the gym and you realize that like your legs don't work quite as well as you think they work, you're trying to squat and you're just like shaking all over, you're picking up dumbbells and you're moving your arms all weird and you just feel very uncoordinated. That's right now is the perfect time to do your at-home workouts. And you go online, you go on my website, whatever it is, you find out these home body workouts that you can do, and then you just start doing those. And if you start doing those from the comfort of your own home for a while, you will become more aware of your body and you will get better at those exercises. And that's going to transfer over to when you do decide to get back into the gym and start picking up some weights. And that would be the other option for you if you're feeling embarrassed. Uh, the just completely push away from it and not go to the gym and only work out at home. That's not a solution to the problem, right? That's not what you're gonna see in this list is a lot of these. I've read some of the responses, and a lot of the responses are ways that can like completely cater to the person who's giving this excuse and giving this reason and not giving them like kind of the hard truth. And the hard truth is, hey, look, if you're feeling embarrassed in the gym, I feel you. I get it. I felt it before, but you got to push through that. You got to figure out a way mentally to just get around it, right? Show up and just start doing it and figure out how you can be in there and not be so not neurotic, just so you can not be so neurotic about the whole situation. You got to kind of figure that out. And again, it'll feel like chaos in your mind when you first go in there. And if it does feel too chaotic and it's too intense, go home and spend a month, 2 months of doing these other exercises every day. And throughout time, the thing is with exercising, I mean, it's all very simple. It's all just movements. And if you haven't been doing these movements and you feel uncoordinated, you shouldn't feel embarrassed because, you haven't been doing them, right? Most people who haven't done these exercises or a certain exercise, they are going to be a little bit uncoordinated when they first start. And then you just have to keep on doing it. And then you'll be less coordinated or you'll be more coordinated with what you're doing and you'll have more body awareness and it'll be a little bit more comfortable experience. You won't think that people are just looking at, and again, nobody's really looking at you in the gym. I mean, maybe 0.1% of complete douchebags in the gym are looking at overweight people or people out of shape in the gym and saying and pointing the finger and being like, oh, look at this person. Just laughing and just thinking about all these or just saying all these crazy things. I wouldn't even say 0.1%, right? That's just, so that's why you shouldn't really feel embarrassed because nobody in the gym is really thinking that towards you. If I look at somebody who's overweight or out of shape in the gym, the only thing I think of is, wow, that's great. This person is in here. They're pushing forward. And I think, I just start thinking about the things that had to happen for this person to decide that this is what they have to do. And then I think about, okay, now this person's in here and they got to know that they have like a year's time of hard work in front of them and they're pushing themselves hard. And that motivates me. That gets me excited. So that's what I think about. I only think about positive things. I don't think about, oh, look at that idiot. They don't know how to use this. Oh, look at that moron. They don't know how to bend down or whatever. So I think this, if you feel embarrassed, a lot of it's created in your mind. You need to stop being neurotic about it. You need to push through it. And again, if it's just a little bit too tough for you in the beginning, start from home. But that's the second excuse. Third excuse, can't afford a gym. Look, I go to a gym that has showers, sauna, steam room, dozens of dumbbells, dozens of weight machines, treadmills. I think they even give you a towel. And that's $45 a month. To me, that's very in it for all the benefits I get, with the body recovery, with the sauna, steam room, Obviously, with the Rona out right now, can't use that stuff. But when everything is going, you have these other amenities in there. You can even, I even have a pool that I can go. Like the gyms I go to have a pool, and I can also go to many different gyms throughout San Diego. So $45 to me to get all those benefits, it's very, very inexpensive. And I've lived very tight, as far as bills wise. And, you can find a way. I think you can find a way to spring $45 a month. You can look at your bills, you can look at the things you spend money on, and you can find $45 a month. I would say for most people. And I'm coming from a place of, I used to eat just McDonald's, right? I've come from a place where, hey, look, the only money I have in my wallet right now is enough to buy a McDouble, not a double cheeseburger from McDonald's, but a McDouble, because it's like 30 cents less, right? So this is coming from that place. In that time, when things are that tight, I could still find $45 a month to spend on a gym, okay? Because you're spending $45. I can almost guarantee you, for most people, you're spending $45 a month on garbage, right? There's some sort of guilty pleasure that you have. There's some sort of whatever that you're paying per month that you can knock off, and you can spend it on the gym. So I would say that should be your first thing, to really go through your bills with a fine-tooth comb and really, really find something that you must cut out, something that could possibly be hurting you. Cut that out first, right? But let's say it is extremely tight, right? Like, I mean, it had to be, again, I've been in extremely tight situations, and I've always found the money. But if you just can't figure it out, or if you can't find the money, at home, right? Go work out at home. So obviously, if somebody is saying that they don't have the money to afford a gym, the person who would say that would be somebody who hasn't been going to the gym and is just starting. At home workouts, just your body weight. If you haven't been going to the gym and you're a bit overweight, I would actually kind of say that starting off with body weight exercises is going to be one of the better things for you. Okay, because you need to become more aware of your body, and you want to prevent yourself from getting injured, and you don't want to overload yourself at all, and you kind of need low weight, very high repetitions in the beginning. So body weight exercises can be just fine for you. So if you're in a tight spot, right, look ahead into the future and be like, hey, 6 months from now, a year from now, I'm going to try to find a way to afford a gym, right? And until then, I'm going to just do body weight exercises. And that's still going to be a great way for you to get in shape and lose weight, is by doing a whole bunch of body weight exercises, doing a whole bunch of different reps. And that's, I think that's going to be very beneficial. So that's still a good option if you just can't find the money. And on top of that, so I'm talking 45, like 24 Hour Fitness has like a couple tiers. I think the one I have is the top tier, which is only $45 a month. You have gyms that are like $100+ a month, like Equinox. I can't remember how much it is, but that's expensive. But then you have gyms like Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is like $10 a month. And Planet Fitness is, I think they're popping up all over the place now. So you can find those gyms, right? So everybody can afford $10 a month. I don't care who you are. You can afford $10 a month to get in shape, right? So that excuse, that's not really, from my perspective, it's not the best excuse to have. And saying and not working out because, not exercising or not working out because you say you can't afford to go to a gym is not an excuse to not exercise. You can exercise at home, right? So it's not the best excuse for people who don't want to exercise. Moving on. I don't like to exercise alone. Look, if you're in the gym, you're not alone, right? The gyms are packed. Okay, the gyms are jam-packed, full of people. So you're never really alone when you're in the gym. You just might not talk to or know the people that are around you, but you're not alone when you're in the gym. But if you really need that extra pumped up hype, um, I mean, one, hire a personal trainer if you got the money. If you really need somebody to be with you and you got the money, hire a personal trainer, then you'll never be alone when you're in the gym. Ask your friends, obviously. Tell your other friends who might be in a similar situation as you and be like, hey, let's lose weight together. And let's do this thing and try to coerce them to go into the gym with you. So that's another option. Another option is go into the gym by yourself, start going, and then start, don't be creeping on people, but start talking to people. And you're going to find out that some people are in a similar situation as you. Some people, like myself, I don't like working out with anybody. Like my friends ask me to work out, and I go, I don't really want to do it. I'd rather work out by myself. But there are other people, some friends I know, that they only want to work out with other people, right? They find it to be the most beneficial for them or whatever. And if that's you, you can find those other people in the gym because those other people are in the gym as well. And the thing about people who don't want to work out alone, typically you're going to be a little talkative, right? You're already probably a little bit of an outgoing person, and that other person who is looking for somebody is going to be similar, right? So if you go around the gym and you start working out by yourself and you start looking around and you see other people, you're going to find out people who are prickly, and you're going to find out people who are, open to talking. And when you come across the people who are open to talking, start talking to them, okay? And if you see them every time you go, be like, hey, you want to set up a text group to make sure we hold each other accountable so we go every day or whatever it is. And then, you start a relationship that way. So you can find people in the gym, right? So you can go into your friends group first. You can find people in the gym. But to not work out, to just be sitting at your home, not working out at all ever because you don't like working out alone. Again, this is one of those things where it's like, hey, you kind of need a hard truth here. You need to get up and you need to figure it out. You need to go into the gym by yourself. Again, if you're in a situation where you're overweight, you're out of shape, the doctor tells you, hey, you need to work out, and you're saying, yeah, I want to work out, but I just can't. I just can't work out by myself. I just can't do it. If that's you, you gotta figure it out. You gotta get over it. You need to get your ass in the gym. Okay, you need to go get a gym membership, and you need to start going to the gym on Monday, and then hope that your friends join in, or hope that you find somebody in the gym. And if you don't find somebody in the gym, or if your friends don't join in, it is what it is. You still got to get into shape. You still got to lose the weight, right? So, you can sit there and want other people to work out with you. And again, some people kind of need that, kind of want that. And you need to find ways to try to get people to come in with you. But if you can't, you still have to get in shape and lose the weight. So you got to get in there anyways. So that's not really an excuse. It's like, look, if it doesn't make sense to hold yourself back, to hold your health back, to, if you're not exercising, if you're not exercising at all, I mean, it's just shown that you're increasing your risk of early death, right? So it doesn't make sense to choose a route that sends you on a path to an early death just because you can't work out by yourself, right? So that doesn't make sense. That's not really a good excuse. So if that's you, try these other ways, but the first mover for you should be to be like, okay, I don't want to work out alone. It's weird, it's uncomfortable. It's all these things, but I got to do it. I need to get in shape. I can't go on the route of early death. I'd rather go on the route of healthy living. So you got to make that decision. You got to pivot over, and you got to, go down that path by yourself, feel that uncomfortable feeling, and then hope that you grab some people along the way. And if you're not a prickly person and you're somebody who is outgoing, you're a fun-loving person, you're friendly, which most people are who don't want to work out by themselves, um, then you're gonna find people. You're gonna find. I'm sure that you already find people in other situations that you go into, whether it's at work, you find friends real fast. Whether when you go to a bar, you find friends real fast. That's gonna translate over into the gym. So don't worry about it too much, but you still should take that first step and go into the gym, feel the uncomfortable feeling, and don't just sit at home and skip the gym just because you don't have anybody to go with, right? So, and there's going to be times, there's going to be, even if you find the perfect person to work out with every single day, there are going to be days where that person is not going to be there. What if they go on vacation for a couple weeks? What if they move? Then what do? You just stop working out and then you just jump back on the route of an early death, painful death? No, right? Doesn't make sense. So that excuse, gone. Next reason is I get bored easily and exercise is no fun. This is another pulling a Band-Aid off the wound, right? Look, exercising, for me, exercising is, I don't know, it can be fun and it's not really boring. If I sit there and I just think about all the ways that it is boring, then I can make it very boring. For me, I sit there and I think of all the ways to be more engaged in the exercises that I'm doing and what's going on. But that's me coming from working out a lot over several years. I can definitely see why somebody who doesn't work out at all or ever would say that exercising is boring and it's no fun, right? Because when you take a very far away perspective of the entire situation, it really is just, all right, you go in, you pick up the weight, you put it down, you do the same exercises, week in, week out for several years. When you just look at it in that simplistic way, it does seem very boring. But if you engage yourself, and if when you go in there and you ask yourself the opposite question, how can I be more engaged with this? How can I feel this movement better? How can I make my form better? How can I push harder? If you start thinking about all these other ways to be engaged, then you can make it not boring, right? So the answer to it's just too boring and exercise is no fun. The answer to that is you can make it fun, right? You can make it fun if you want. There's some fun exercises, but again, when you're just starting off, everything's painful, so it's kind of hard to feel fun. That's more farther down the road. But as far as boring, when you're first in the beginning, you don't really understand all the different movements. You don't really understand how your body moves. You're not really fully aware of your body, and you don't really know the correct form. So having all these not knowns around you in all these different situations, that automatically makes it not boring. That automatically makes it more engaging, right? So I would say to start focusing on that, to make it not boring. Because again, if you don't really know how to do these things, then you're only focused on how to do them, right? And it takes time to do them right. If you're trying to reach a point of doing them very good, then it's going to take some time. And that should be your goal, is to try to do them very good, right? But then also on top of that, hey, look, if exercising is not fun, whatever. If you got to do it, you got to do it. We all got to do it, right? So we all have to exercise. And if it's not fun, it is what it is. Some things aren't fun, right? Whenever you're kind of forced to do something, it kind of automatically isn't fun. And it just takes time to where you go from being forced to exercise, going from that point of not exercising to exercising, you're forcing yourself to do it. That's not a fun time, right? Like, for example, for myself in the Marines, the boot camp, well, I did have a little bit of fun in boot camp, but boot camp for the Marines is not really a fun time. That is a very serious time. And but after that, it's a very fun time to be a Marine. And that's kind of similar to working out, is that in the beginning, it's not going to be fun. So if you're in the beginning and you're saying, this isn't fun, it's like, okay, no shit, right? It's not really supposed to be fun for you. I've been there and it wasn't that fun either. But you just got to keep going through, because once you get past the forced part, then you can start finding ways to make it a little bit more fun. Um, and and again, I don't go into the gym and think, how can I make this more fun? That's just not a thought. To me, the gym is just something that I have to do, and it's something that, just go in there and do it. It's not always fun. It's not always exciting. I'm not always happy when I'm doing it. You know, it's just it is what it is. It's just something that we have to do, and to reach for, I got to make it fun. I mean, as an excuse to not ever work out, I mean, come on. I mean, that's a child's excuse, and I'm not trying to berate. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you know if I'm talking to you or not. I'm not trying to berate you, but that's just not that's not an excuse. That's not an adult's excuse, right? This isn't fun. I need to lose weight. My doctor tells me I need to lose weight, and I need to exercise, but it's not fun, so I'm not gonna do it. What? Okay. So enough of that excuse. Next one. How long have I been doing this? Long time. All right, I'm going to try to go through this faster. Next one. I've tried before, or I can't stick to a program. Look, if you tried before, keep trying, right? Keep trying. If you haven't stuck to a program before, keep trying to do it. There's so many things that I do now that have taken me multiple attempts, right, at continuously trying to do it, to now being at a point to where I continuously do it. It's a creation of a habit. When you're trying to create a habit, it takes some time, right? It might take you once, twice, 3 times. All depends on you. Some people get it first shot. Other people takes them 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So if you're sitting there, I've already tried that before, it doesn't work, or, I fell off, try again. Just try again. All right, moving on. I don't like to work out around the opposite sex. Again, this is not an adult excuse, right? This is a child's excuse. I don't like to work out around the opposite sex. Look, that's a child's excuse, but if that is your excuse, what I would say, work out at home until you figure out in your mind how you can work out around the opposite sex. It's kind of weird that you don't want to work out around the opposite sex. I mean, you'd have to demonize the opposite sex in your mind, kind of, to not want to work out around them. Like, why, if you're a girl, I can see it to where there's a lot of creepers in the gym. So I can see that, if there's a lot of creepers in the gym, you don't like working out around the opposite sex, that I can see that on why you wouldn't want to do that. And the answer to that is, one, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't want to tell a girl, be like, hey, you should go work out around creepers, right? I'm not really for that. Creepy people are creepy. You don't want to be around them. What I would say for that is dress like incognito. Thankfully, we can wear masks now. And if you're worried about people looking at you, I guess just because it's hard to find. I mean, I don't think there are any gyms that are just male or female specific. So you don't really have that option. That's the thing. If you say, I don't want to work out because I don't want to work out around the opposite sex, and again, maybe it is you're a girl and you just don't want to be around creepers, I completely get that. But there's not really any options. You can go work out at home. That would be an option for you, to work out at home, and then hopefully get to a point to where you can just go into the gym and work out. But there aren't gyms that really have that option, right? Of just, hey, this is only male time, this is only female time. So you don't really have that. You could get a personal trainer that has a private gym, right? So you could do that if that could be an option for you, or you could be or you can just rent out a private gym, right? Again, that's all costs some money for you, but that's an option. But other than those options, you kind of have to deal with it. I mean, and it's hard to say, yeah, you got to deal with creepers. So that's a tough one. Cause me being a dude, right? So as far as dudes, if I'm talking to guys and they're saying, I don't want to work out around the opposite sex, go in the gym. What are you talking about? You don't want to work out around the opposite sex? Like, again, people think that, you know, other people are looking at them and they're just thinking these neurotic thoughts or making up these stories and narratives in their mind. Oh, this person's looking at me. Oh, the opposite sex, these girls will make fun of me. It's embarrassing. Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. So I would say to a guy, just go in there and stop using that childish excuse. If I'm talking to a girl, if you're a girl watching this and you're saying, I don't want to work out around the opposite sex because they're creepy, that's a little bit tough. I would say private gym, maybe start your own gym that only has females, I guess. Maybe, if you're, again, worried about these creepers, maybe bring, I know it's a lot of girls do this, maybe bring a friend of the opposite sex that you can go work out with, kind of like a deterrent to the creepers, right? So you can do that. I'm going to stay away from the rest of the answers for that because that is getting a little weird. And I could see, again, if I was a girl and I had to deal with all these creepy dudes, because there are a bunch of creepy dudes in the gym, I don't know how I wouldn't feel too comfortable going into the gym either, and it'd feel weird. So yeah, I would say, yeah. Moving on. I don't like to sweat, or I don't want to take another shower and reapply makeup. Well, if you don't like to sweat, I mean, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. You got to work out. You have to do it. The I don't like to sweat. If somebody tells me I'm not going to work out, I'm not going to lose weight because I don't like to sweat, it's like you got to get over that. You have to sweat. You have to do it. It's our bodies require it. Again, you got to get on the healthy path. And to get on the healthy path, you need to sweat. So you need to get over that. You need to rip the Band-Aid off. And instead of ripping the Band-Aid off right away, if you can't handle that, then you can actually go into the gym and you can just work out very slowly. You can spread out your sets, you can spread out your workouts, and you can work out in a manner to where you don't sweat, right? So you can do that. And I would say start to do that, and then you'll realize that you'll start to sweat, and you'll realize once you start getting some progress under your belt and you start getting into exercising more, because it is something, I mean, people get addicted to exercising. They get addicted for a reason, right? It's engaging and people like it. And if you put yourself in the situation to exercise over a long period of time, that could be you as well. So I would say just start doing it. Maybe do things a little bit slower. Don't do high repetition things. Don't push yourself too hard, I guess. Just to ease you into the situation, just to make sure you're actually getting in there. And then hopefully, if you keep on doing it, you're going to realize that sweating is just part of it. And then all of a sudden you're sweating. And I don't want to shower and reapply makeup. Put your workout in the very beginning of the day. So then you roll into the gym with no makeup and you haven't showered. And then so you work out in the morning and then you shower and put your makeup on after you go to the gym. So if that's your excuse, put your workout routine directly in the morning. And yeah. And then lastly, I don't have time. And yeah, I just don't have time. I feel like I know. So if you don't have time to exercise, who's saying that, right? The thing is that for most people who really don't have time, like the people who work 80 plus hours a week, those people find the time, right? The ones who you would think, people who work literally 80, 70, 80, 90 hours a week, those people you would think, oh, they don't have any time to do anything. They definitely don't have time to go work out. Those people find the time, okay? Those people actually find the time more than the other people, than everybody else. So think about that for a second. So if you're like most other people and you're working just a 40-hour work week, you got time, all right? You got time. You can find time. I would say if you think that you don't have time, go do block scheduling, figure out your schedule, and start finding the time. You can find the time. Yeah, you're going to have to cut some things out. You're going to have to change some things up, but you can find the time, right? And again, you really only need, 30 to 90 minutes, somewhere around there, or 15 minutes here and there, right? So you can find the time, you can break it up, and you can figure out how to fit in this exercise routine. But the not having time for most people, look, you got the time. I know a girl who is a single mom. She worked 2 jobs and she worked out, right? So, I mean, and she went to school. That's ridiculous, right? Single mom, 2 jobs, school, and works out. She found the time. So I always use her as a example. She makes it happen, right? So I think anybody can really make it happen. So you can just find the time. You just got to stop using that excuse. It's just really like a dismissed excuse. Like usually that comes up in conversation. Somebody says, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to work out, but I just don't have the time." And in my mind, I'm just thinking, yeah, of course. We're sitting at the bar right now, and we've been sitting here for 2 hours. You got the time. The time is this bar time. You shouldn't be here in the bar. If you need to lose weight, get in shape, and you spend 2 hours a night at the bar, you got the time. You're just using it the wrong way, right? So that's what I'd say about that. But that's the list. It's like 10 reasons on why people, or 10 excuses people give for not exercising. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm accurate, if I debunked some of your excuses. But yeah, that's the list today. And sorry it went a little longer than what I thought. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good week. Thank you for tuning in. I'm out. All right. Adios. I got some surf to go hit up right now today. It's about 8 feet of surf. And I'm about to go out there. And it's really going to be this way for the next 4 or 5 days. So I'm just going to be surfing for the next 4 or 5 days. So I'm excited. And hopefully all of you are excited. And hopefully, again, if you were using some of these reasons, some of these excuses, comment down below. Maybe you can talk to some people who are using the same excuses and you can figure out, you can exchange your remedies to them. And maybe you can talk shit on how wrong I am. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, all right? Hope everybody has a good week. Thank you for listening. Adios.